You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Short versus Johnson.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Ms. Short, you and your mother opened your case today because your first love, the defendant, denies he fathered your 21-month-old son, Jabari. You are a single teenage mother who needs help, and you demand Mr. Johnson step up and be a father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, you are in court with your mother and say you might have been the plaintiff's first love, but you weren't the only one. You refused to do anything for her son until the DNA results prove you are his biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Short, you say you need help.
Yes.
Explain.
Yes, because he's the father of my son, and my son, as a boy, need a father figure. And I need extra help, like while I'm in school.
We got to do this for Jabari. Stop. She just need to know, is he the father? So he can step up and do the right thing, hopefully. You know, we can't make him, but we need to know, because I did stop him from coming over because I didn't want no feelings to get involved, like them to get attached if he wasn't the father, because she did tell them it's a possibility you may not be the father.
Jabari is almost 2 years old. How did you meet?
Well, it was over Facebook, and we used to text. He was my first kiss, first everything.
Okay, so after you met, you all started having sex, and at some point, you find out you're pregnant.
Yes. Me and Mr. Johnson had sex April 23rd. I seen him on Facebook with another female, and he was like, I don't want you, I want her. He was talking about the other female. And I was like, he just left. He just left me. After that happened, it was May 3rd. I went out to eat with some friends. And
Okay.
That night, I had met the other boy. And this is not my first time meeting him, but this the first time we ever had sex.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, Mr. Johnson don't care about me, why not?
Okay, so did you confront that other guy?
I sure did.
Did you say, I'm pregnant and you're the father?
I said possibility.
She really believe in her heart is Mr. Johnson.
All right,
I'm
and
hoping it's not.
Mr. Johnson, at what point did you realize Miss Short was even pregnant?
See, Your Honor, I was away. I found out she was pregnant 6 months into her pregnancy.
Okay, and were you informed that you were the biological father?
Yes, ma'am. She told my mom that she was pregnant and I could be the father. So at the time, I'm thinking that the baby's mine. But at the end of the day, when I come home from being away, I got her friends coming to me, talking to me about the other dude. So you know how that making me feel. I was there to see the baby conceive. I was the one that had the baby. I was there. When she called me and asked me for stuff, I was there to help her. I was there. Her own mother was not in the hospital room with her when she had her baby.
I sure wasn't, because I wasn't happy about the situation.
Well, it don't matter.
It does matter. You just full of it.
You
full
is
of it,
too.
honey.
Ladies,
You very
Okay,
full of it.
okay, to the moms, hold on. Let
I
this
hope
young
he's
man,
not the dad.
Let this young man talk. Go ahead, Mr. Johnson.
But when I found out about the baby, and I talked to Miss Short on the phone, I told her, if it was mine, I was gonna be there for her. I was gonna help her with the baby. But when I got out and then her friends started telling me that's when I started having my doubts.
All right. Did you know your friends, Miss Short, was telling Mr. Johnson that he may not be the child's father?
Your Honor, it was an ex-friend. I thought she was my friend. She was like, because I was like, it was a possibility. So I was like, I'm scared to let the moms know. She was like, you need to let them know so it won't be any confusions when the baby get here. After that, I called her and I said, it's a possibility that Mr. Johnson can be the father of my son. She said, if you need any help with anything, please let me know. I didn't expect that because I said possibility already.
Was that Mr. Johnson's mother you were speaking to?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you were speaking to Ms. Mabry.
Your Honor, she didn't come to the baby shower, bought the baby 1 box of Pamper. He bought the baby a small pack of Pamper. It been a struggle, let me tell you. I've been raising him. I've been doing the best I can. It's very, very expensive. I guess he have babies for trophies. He don't pay child support for none of his kids.
And I didn't go for child
None
support.
of them.
So if this has been very difficult on you to have to raise the child without any financial support from a father.
It was a point in time where her mama would get into our arguments and tell me not to come back to the house. None of that. If I come over there, she's gonna call the police. That's why I stayed
Never
distant.
said that to you about calling the
Man.
police.
But it was words being said about, he has another family member that wasn't even around when this happened, but he knows about everything. How do he know about everything when all the
Well, the truth is somebody knew about the other guy, and he really does exist, and so they just told him, truthfully, what he needed to know, which was before you go and start stepping up and taking care of this baby, there is a possibility that another man could be the biological father as well. He was merely informed about what was true. And there is another possibility, and there is a question of paternity, which is why you're here. Lauren Lake here, giving you 5 seconds to subscribe and click on the notification bell. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I want to hear from you, Miss Mabry, because you remember having this conversation with Miss Short.
Yes, ma'am.
You did, and you said to her, if you need anything, just let me know.
Yes, and it also went further into a blood test. They wanted me to do a blood test because this other dude saying he wanted to know if DeMaze was the father. If DeMaze's not the father, that makes him be the father. I'm not gonna go through all that. And another thing about the baby, when we try to get the baby, she have to come and sit with us. We can't get the baby, and she talking about flexing and front and all this. We was trying to be involved with this baby, even though we know it was a possibility that it's not my son baby.
And I could back her up on that. It was times that I tried to come see the baby, but
My
her
baby
mother
still
wouldn't
do
let
for
me
this
come
baby.
to the house.
He still try to do
Her
this
mother
baby.
wouldn't let me come to the house.
So
have somebody with you when you come.
I don't.
You can't never come by yourself.
So hold on, ladies, before we go there and all that, this is the issue I'm having at this point. I need to establish a connection. I need to establish a reason why, Ms. Short, you decided that Mr. Johnson is the biological father of your child when you said you also had slept with another person as well.
I'm going by the dates. My due date was January 14th.
Okay.
I had him January 8th. I had sex with Mr. Johnson April 23rd. And May 3rd is just too close.
So, Ms. Short, the bottom line is the other person that was a possibility, you reached out to them as well to say that it is a possibility that he could be the biological father. You also know that Mr. Johnson is a very real possibility because of the close proximity of the time you had sex with Mr. Johnson and the time you had sex with the other guy, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So when the baby was born, Mr. Johnson, were you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign the birth certificate?
No, Your Honor, I was finna, but I didn't have my ID at the time to sign the birth certificate.
And he wasn't gonna sign nothing until we found out the truth.
But I felt like they came back when I had him to see did he look like Mr. Johnson. I don't want to go through this.
It's okay, baby. It's okay. We're going to find out the truth today.
Your Honor, all I want to say is I just want to know the truth. For if he is mine, I will be there for him. And I just don't want to be in the mix of this is that, that's that. I don't want to be in the midst of that. I just want to know the truth. That's all I want to know.
So he's almost 2 now. Who's been his father?
My mom, my dad, my sister, and my family. It's just been my family.
I'd like to see your evidence. Hand it to me, please, Jerome. So this is a communication between you and Mr. Johnson, am I correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is something he wrote to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
He writes, I'll be there for you and my child. I love all mine. That one thing you ain't got to worry about. I'm going to be a great father to my children. So he wrote that letter and promised you in that moment that he was going to be a good father to his child. And believed, it seems, that it was his child.
Yeah.
Do you remember writing that, Mr. Johnson?
I remember writing that letter, but at the time I thought that Jabari was mine. Me growing up 20 years, I never had a father. If he's mine, I'm going to be there. Blank, end of that discussion.
So when you wrote that letter, you had no idea the other guy existed.
I didn't know nothing about
it.
the
Wasn't
other dude.
until you got back home and then people told you there is another guy, and then once you confronted her about it, she admitted that yes, there was.
Yes.
And there is another possibility, and there is a question of paternity, which is why you're here. And what is troubling me in this moment, I have done my best to be patient. I have been frustrated. I have been trying to be compassionate because you all are young people. And now you've gotten yourself into this whole big drama with adult situations and adult problems. You can't even string 2 good sentences together in this courtroom about the situation, much less be prepared to take care of a living child, this beautiful little boy, almost 2 years old. And this is babies having babies, and this has got to stop. Now, Mr. Johnson, you say you got more than 1 child. How many children do you have?
I have 4. With Jabari, I have 5 in all.
So you got 4 other children.
Yes, ma'am.
And Jabari would make 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say
And you're
something?
20 years old?
Yes.
All these are not his kids, you want. They're not his. They're not his. I wish they can do blood tests too, but they don't want to.
You're saying that some of the other ones you
Yes,
feel like
ma'am.
are not his.
Yes, ma'am.
But the fact that he is in the running for the position as father, and I don't mean it, it's not a joke, I mean it. The fact that you are in the running to be the father means that you admittedly slept with these women without protection, because if you use protection, you would know that's not me. Right.
Yes, you are.
And so that goes back to my point of you all are young people, potentially 5 children at 20 years old. That's unacceptable. You all aren't dating anymore, are you?
No, Your Honor. It's a lesson learned.
It's a lesson learned. That's what I'm talking about. You make mistakes in life. But I will tell you this can be the last time you make this mistake if you make that decision. Raising a child ain't no joke. I had a child at 41. Some days it takes me to my knees. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
And I got 1. Because some days it's just that hard. And you're responsible for another human being in this world. They're looking at you. Everything revolves around you. You don't just change your own life, you change the life of your family, your family's lives, the child's life. Everybody has to chip in. Everybody has to be responsible. Your mother's just here, Mr. Johnson, saying she doesn't even know for certain if the other children are truly her grandchildren. She doesn't know for certain. And I'm a really drop a dime here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna drop $1. And I want you to pick this up. Our people historically were used to be baby factories. A man like you, a tall, young, handsome black man like yourself, would be on a plantation making babies, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You are no longer supposed to be a baby producing machine. Do you understand?
Yes, you are.
You have a future. You have a calling in this life. And it's more than just being a father to a whole bunch of kids you can't take care of. Do you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss Short, you can't say nothing and you just burst out in tears. You're so overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to put you on punishment or hug you. I don't know what to do with it. But when you don't have purpose in your life, and when you don't understand that there is more to do in this life than lay down with boys and make babies, that you can go to college and you can make something of yourself, and you can have a job and you can run a corporation and you can be the president of the United States, then you don't sit around and not even sit around, lay around with young men who are busy with multiple women. Because you're better than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we're here now, and Jabari is here. Now, I want to get these results. Jerome, give me the envelope. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Short versus Johnson, when it comes to 21-month-old Jabari Short, Do you want to watch Paternity Court on TV? Go to paternitycourt.tv to find your local listings. It has been determined by this court. Mr. Johnson, you are the father.
Like I said, I'll be there for him.
Good. I'm glad you will.
This all I want to know to get all the other extra stuff out the way.
You have to.
They shouldn't have took this.
But no, Miss Short, this happens in life.
Yes.
It should not have taken this, but it did.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we're here now.
Yes, Your Honor.
And now you at least have the answer.
Yes.
So now we've got to figure out how to get you two on the right path to be able to raise this child together. So let's get real. You all are gonna have to work out together when and how you all will see the baby, when Mr. Johnson and his family will be able to see the baby. And you can do this in your living room or you can do this through the courtroom. It's up to you, because if not, the court will order him to pay support, and they will also set guidelines for which he can see the child. And the best example you can set for Jabari in this moment is to go after your dreams. But it's more to being a father than just running around and taking pictures for Facebook.
Hello? Hello.
I'm just telling you.
I don't even get on Facebook.
But you know my point.
Yeah.
It's more than just pictures and this and sneakers. It is food, it is care, it is time, it is setting the example, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moms, y'all gonna have to get in there.
Yes, no problem.
Get in there and help them.
I've been in there.
I've
All
been
right?
in there too.
I've
Good.
been in there.
And you all gonna have to stop that little bickering and all that
I don't got-
nonsense.
Your Honor, I have no problem with nobody.
Good. Because Jabari needs his whole village, all right? Mm-hmm. Take care of yourselves. Court is adjourned.